Greece's prime minister is struggling to get coalition party leaders to buy into harsh new international bailout terms. Talks have now been postponed till Tuesday, but a massive 15,000 jobs cut has already been accepted. This as pressure mounts on Athens, with a European Commission spokesman saying the deadline's already passed. The country must now accept even more painful cuts if it's to get a €130 billion second lifeline from international creditors. If the deal falls through, Greece is expected to default by the end of March. For more perspective on this, I'm joined by Skrekas, an economic analyst and international lawyer. So talks between the Greek coalition party leaders have dragged on, but some concessions have been made, including this 15,000 civil service firings that we've mentioned. Does the Technocrat government have much choice in the matter?
But there is actually very little choice for Greece at the moment. Both options on the table are very bad. You either accept draconian measures from international lenders, or you head for the door and you default calamitously, and it's a chaotic Eurozone exit. But I must reiterate this for the international audience. It's not exactly a technocratic government. It's actually a caretaker government under a technocrat prime minister. It's the three political leaders that will actually call the shots. And even if they agree, they still have to persuade all of the parliamentary deputies in their party to actually pass this through parliament.
Now, how much more can the Greek people take, do you think? Unions are calling for another nationwide strike.
Matt, there will be a 24-hour strike tomorrow by the private sector umbrella union and the public sector umbrella union. It looks like it won't be a very good weather day, so we may not see the hundreds of thousands or even 20 or 30,000 which you usually see, but there may be some violence. Now, what Greeks can understand and can cope with is structural reforms. Most Greeks understand that there is a need for it. They're not particularly happy about fire sale privatizations, because that really offends people. What they have hit the limit with is tax increases and more cuts to pensions, and especially private sector wages.
And the bailout policy hasn't proved to be very effective so far. Greece has already gotten international cash, but its debt still continues to grow. Why do you think EU politicians are so committed to this bailout and austerity solution?
Matt, they're committed to bailouts in the sense originally that they wanted to support the European banking sector far more than the Greek state, because it would have been untold losses for the European banking system, and it would have reverberated around the world. Of course, it was a very short-sighted plan to begin with. What they completely ignored was that you had to reduce debt because it was unsustainable to begin with. It took them 1.5 years to figure that out. And of course, they also ignored, under the ideological guise, that austerity was a dead end. It's just been a very toxic mix, an overdose perhaps. It's crushed demand, which has led to economic shrinkage. The Greek economy has shrunk 15% in the space of 2 years. And of course that means less tax revenues, harder to service your debt.
Now, we're seeing more distance lately between politicians and people in Greece and in Germany. Chancellor Merkel determined to keep Greece in the Eurozone. Most of the German people seem to think Athens should leave. Why do you think there's such a polarized point of view here?
In Greece, I can understand the polarization completely. The political system here has been delegitimized. Greeks had not been told the truth for many decades. They didn't understand that the prosperity that they were enjoying was on the basis of debt rather than actual growth here. In terms of Germany, I think that the politicians have not exactly expressed themselves very well. They've been quite populist. They've jumped on to certain media interests that have tended to vilify Mediterranean countries, including Greece, and not having told the whole picture, now it's much harder to tell the average German taxpayer that they need to help and how they should help.
All right, Skrekas, economic analyst and international lawyer, thanks for your time.